Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to paint mini flowers. These flowers are filler flowers, you can say, and you can utilize all these flowers to create bouquet and all those things. And I would suggest you to use a small brush because today we are going to create a small flowers. So you can either use very small brush like 5.0 or something, or maybe you can use size 1 round brush that I am using for today's painting. I'm using this 300 GSM cold pressed watercolor sheet, and let's create the first one. So for the first one I'm going to create a small yellow flowers. There are multiple small yellow flowers which combines together and create a one big flower of string. So as this is the string, you need to paint it in an alternate direction. I am creating two big petals and one small petals for a single flower. I am pushing my brush a little bit to get these kind of shape, and I'm going to show you multiple version of this particular simple petal structure. Now combine all the flowers together, but before that you can add small sepals as well. I know this one is little bit hectic because creating sepals for every flower, that too we have multiple flowers in it. So let's add one single string in between and attach all the flowers together. So likewise we can create multiple flower strings, and you can also add small leaves in between. Quite simple. Just need to press your brush a little bit and move your brush towards left and right to get these kind of petal shape. Now using the same process, using the same petal, we are going to create another flower. So in this I am creating two petals towards left and right, and one and few smaller petals. So basically you need to create three big petals and two smaller petals to create one single flower, and then you can arrange this in a semicircular form like this, and then add one single string for each flower, and all these strings combine together and create one big flower. So petal structure is same as the first one. The only thing in this, we have created 5 petals, 3 bigger petals and 2 smaller to create this one. In the first one we were creating 2 petals and 1 small petals. You can add sepals as well if you want to. Now let's move to the third one. So third one is also same as first and second, but in this I am creating only 2 petals to create one single flower. So as you can see, I am creating one big petal and one smaller petal to create one flower, and this is flower string. So all these combines together to create a one single flower. So you can arrange your flowers in a line. Based on your perspective, and likewise you can create something like this, and then with the help of green color attach all the flowers together to create a single flower or main flower. I think using this small petal you can create number of flowers or varieties of flowers as per your choices. You can add a small green structure in between, and then you can add leaves also, but I am adding a little longer leaves for this particular. I'm pushing my brush and extending toward upward direction or towards downward direction to create these longer leaves. Now let's see one more variation. So we need to create flower stems like this. These are sub stems, and then create one main stem. So as you know how to draw dandelion, so with the same structure we are creating this. So multiple sub stems has one single flower in it, which can be a group of multiple petals. So I am using violet color first for creating multiple petals for each sub stem. You can use multicolor as well, but I'm going to create this flower with the help of violet and pink color. Repeat the same process for all the stems. Now you can add pink petals as well in between. The sub stem should be of different sizes, little longer, little smaller, so that you will get something like this. You can create little thick stem for this particular one. Now let's create another one. This one also same as the above 4, but I'm creating petals little longer this time, and I'm not moving my brush towards left and right. I am moving my brush from upward to downward direction to create little longer petals like this. I'm arranging 4 petals into one single flower, and I'm using brown color for this particular one. Then you can add sepals as well for each flowers. You can add stems and leaves like we did for other flowers. These sepals are also like petal only, and leaves are also you can create like petals only, but I'm going to create little longer leaves for this particular one. The process is absolutely same for all the flowers. We are just using different shades of green and different shades of flower color. Now create another one. This one is a little bit different. So for this one I am dragging my brush towards left and right roughly to create one single petal. So as you can see, I'm dragging my brush to create all these petals. Few petals should be smaller and few petals should be bigger. This gives you a perspective in the flower, so that is something important. Just drag your brush a little bit towards left and right and you will get something like this. I'm adding ovary of the flower, as these are individual flower, so we need all those detailing as well. And then you can create stems and leaves. I'm using purple color for this particular one, and I'm using purple and green mix for the stems and leaf. For the leaf as well, I'm going to repeat the same process, just trying to drag my brush to create a leaf kind of structure, keeping a negative space in between. So basically I am adding 2 strokes to add one single leaves. Now with the same process, I'm again dragging my brush towards left and right roughly to create little bigger petals this time. Likewise, you can create 4 or 5 petals to create one single flower. All the petals should not be in the same shape or size. This could be different as well. Add a few smaller petals in between just to add little perspective in the flower. Likewise, you can create 2 or 3 flowers. I'm using cobalt blue color for this particular one. Very simple. Even if you are a beginner, you can easily do these kind of things. you just need little practice around it. Now I am using purple color to add ovary of the flower. And then you can use violet color as well to give a little dark shade in it. You can add stems and same ways you can also paint leaves. So like we did for the last one, the only difference is I'm creating little smaller this time, and I'm using sap green color for the leaves. Now let's create one more. This is inspired by the iris flower. So iris flower is very complicated, but a deconstructed version of iris flower. So you can add 2 small petals upward and 2 big petals downward. I'm roughly creating 2 petals which is on the downside, and then a hint of yellow in between. You can utilize all these flowers for flower bouquet or flower borders or multiple stationaries, wherever you like to add. So I think we are done with today's painting. Let me create one more. This one is rose flower, very common and very simple flower to paint. I'm just creating a semicircle structure to create one single rose. So likewise I'm going to create 2-3 flowers here. So I'm hoping this video is helpful and all these flower fillers are helpful for you. Even if you are a beginner, I must say you should try at least once to paint all these, and use a smaller brush to start with if you can, and you can use simple watercolor sheet as well. Does not necessary it has to be very good quality or all. You can use a simple quality watercolor sheet as well for this particular painting. You can use bigger brush as well, but you need little control over your brush, so that is something needed. So it's good if you are a beginner, you can start with smaller brush to paint all these small flowers. So that's it for today's painting. Let me know if you guys have any feedback for me, and thank you so much for watching.